switch, now that they in my life. You know me, my dog, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the AFC Championship game on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, these fans have waited for this moment for decades, but playoff football has come to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between our visitors and the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. The winner of this one will represent the AFC in Super Bowl 54. And away we go on EA Sports. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
I'm actually old enough to remember him hitting the league, and so many people are talking about his throwing motion at the time. A little bit unorthodox. No one talks about it anymore except in admiration. The ball gets to the target really well and usually with big production.
Now a play fake here on first down. Hunter Henry brings it in. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
On 2nd and 9, Rivers finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
Now Rivers. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Chargers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. So here's the starting 11, and the human highlight reel, Odell Beckham Jr., watch out for him.
One of the few guys in the league that gets you and I out of our hotel rooms early to get here for pregame warm-ups and watch him go through his routine. He's absolutely amazing catching the football.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
We got this.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. That's Thomas Davis on the sack. Came in the league way back in 2005.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
This will be caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, They like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Mayfield looks to throw, and just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
It's real easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Mayfield with it once more. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former 3rd-round pick, Justin Jones, bringing the lumber that time. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So on 4th down, out comes the Browns kicker, Austin Seibert. Seibert's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
We play to win. Let's go.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rivers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Rivers. nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Myles Garrett in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
On is the Chargers punter now. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at the 20. On the ground with Eckler. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean 1st half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. Rivers from the gun on third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur. And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. On first down, Hilliard. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield, he sets to fire deep. He's got him in, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. AFC title game, 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to play. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, as he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So that drive began at their own 3. They wind up getting 3 out of it.
And to me, the mentality to begin the drive, that was probably the key to everything. Let's just make sure we take care of the football, give ourselves some room, and maybe punt it away. Instead, it started at the 3, and it ended with 3 points.
Oh, and now some space to operate. He's at the 50, 30, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Travis Benjamin with a return of 102 yards. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And picked up by the Chargers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he comes back with one complete. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Working open man, it's Allen. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. The Charger first down. Rivers hooking up with that play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half, Rivers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So we come upon halftime in the AFC title game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, 1 half remains in the battle to see who will take home that Lamar Hunt trophy and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, time to look ahead to the NFC Championship coming up later today. And it should be a great one as well, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints matching up with the Detroit Lions. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half and the right to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, as I'm privileged to hand things back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Throwing again on second down. Mayfield trying to lay one up deep, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
The Chargers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Throwing Rivers. Benjamin's got it. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rivers got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Rivers. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Rivers finding his top receiver. That's Allen. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Chargers on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Rivers to throw it. He'll get this to Eckler. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On second down, Eckler. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Rivers throwing complete to his tight end, Henry. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Badgley's kick is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. Phillip Rivers and his Chargers about ready to take over again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A gain of 13. It's a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to rim.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And some momentum going, driving down the field. That'll set them back 1st and 15.
I mean, that type of play, when you've got to go in your direction, shoot, my man Old Mo's arching an eyebrow at him right now. You've got me going. Keep me going.
He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and it'll be 2nd down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
To throw is Rivers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
So out come the Chargers. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rivers.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. But defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Third and short yardage, Rivers. And that is incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their own 11. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay. All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling. And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well. Rivers hands off to Eckler. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. On is the Chargers punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now Mayfield and the Browns down by 11, a minute 45 to play. Their Super Bowl hopes hanging by a thread as they come up on first down. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game.
And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation, because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
Well, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On the give, this is Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. On is the Chargers punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. One last shot from Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. And all that hard work has paid off. They're AFC champions, and on to the Super Bowl they go.
It's got to be an amazing feeling for them, doesn't it, Brandon? The idea that you've done it all that hard work, all that sweating, all that effort, all those times you're getting yelled at by your coach, and now you get to go to the Super Bowl. Put your hats on, guys, and say AFC champs.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.